Hey friends, Brian King here. I just want to say a quick happy 4th of July to my fellow Americans, and hopefully to take some time to reflect on exactly what's that mean, more so than, hey, a day off work to eat brats and hamburgers. Okay, now that I've said that, yes, I was actually working today. I had a client meeting this morning, the only one, and something came of it that I definitely want to share with you because it's really important. Those of you who follow me know that I'm like a workhorse. I'm always putting stuff out there. And some of that's from my upbringing. And let me explain. My dad, who was a former Army Ranger and taught hand-to-hand combat, a real Iron Man, so to speak, never gave up, worked 15-hour days, the hardest working guy I've ever met. There was one time he was working in an attic and he was driving nails or whatever. And you see this part of the hand right here, this muscular part. When he was working, he drove a nail all the way through that, came out the other side. And what did he do? Did he scream in pain? Did he rush to the ER? No. He took the nail out, wrapped his hand in duct tape, and kept working. Now, that isn't something that I recommend to people, but that's the man that I was raised by who taught me that work ethic. And when you're immersed in that, it's very difficult to value the idea of self-care, of taking a break, of not working. You're supposed to work through the pain. You're supposed to just endure no matter what. And self-care is something that, with my health over the years, I've learned gradually the importance of doing. And I just had this conversation with a client of mine this morning. This idea that go, 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 because your brain, especially if you have ADHD, your brain feels driven to do. That I've got to be doing something. I can't sit down. There's always that restlessness. I've got to be fidgeting with my hands. I've got to be watching something on my phone. I've got to be creating something. I've got to be reading. I can't rest. I can't rest. And that, of course, carries over into bedtime often, where your brain just won't shut itself off. You don't know how to relax. So how the heck do you do that? The first thing that's essential is you've got to have a mindset shift. And I'm not saying like flipping a switch. I'm saying something that you believe, that you gradually ingrain in the way you look at the world. And the mindset shift is essentially this, that when you are resting, that rest period is preparation for your next action. If you are involved in sports, okay, there are breaks in between quarters, there are half times, there are times when you sit on the bench, let somebody else take your turn so you can recharge, rejuvenate, catch your breath. So there are a lot of things in our culture where rest is built in, but we forget to recognize it as that. And one thing I learned from one of my many physicians is that sleep, one of its many purposes is to repair the damage done from everything you did to your body the previous day. Whether it's microscopic tears in your muscles, pressure on your joints, whatever it was. So you need to have that time to repair, to replenish, to reboot, so that you are as close to 100% as possible for your next action. And I don't care what you do with your life. I don't care what your job is. There are going to be times when you start to doze off, make mistakes. That happens to me a lot when I'm typing things all day long online. I find myself beginning to make a lot more mistakes than usual. And that's usually my cue to step away and take a break, to recharge, rejuvenate, so that I repair, replenish, reboot, and can be closer to 100% the next time I take action. So resting can be very active. It's just not active here. It's getting out of the way and letting your body do its thing. Let it repair. Let your mind rest. Take a break from the problem solving, the processing. So that's the next piece here. Some people need to be a little busier during their rest period. In my case, I often need to shut out the light, shut off the sound, set my alarm. If I fall asleep, I fall asleep, so that whether it's 20 minutes or 45 minutes, something snaps me out of it. But then during that time, I've totally cut off as much stimuli as possible so I can completely reboot. There's somebody that needs to scan mindless cat videos, not that they aren't cute, If you dig your cat videos, go for it, as long as they allow you to rest your brain. Some people want to watch mindless TV, hopefully something that doesn't upset you because it's not too sensational and controversial. Something like music as white noise in the background. A movie that's kind of silly, that doesn't require you to think too much. Bottom line is, you've got to experiment and find what is your recipe for a good break, a good timeout, so to speak. Because there are people that make plenty of recommendations to you, right? Oh, you should do yoga to relax, or you should listen to this flute music. And they tell you their recipe and they insist it's what you need to do. And they're well-intended. They care about you. They want to take care of you. But what they don't realize is that it's not one size fits all. They just know what's worked for them. So if you make the declaration that I can't relax, I can't take it easy, I don't know how to take a break, it's something I used to say too. But then I realized what other people were telling me I needed to do to take a break was not a good fit for me. I needed to find what worked for me to take a break. And the key measurement is, when you're done with your break, do you feel better? Do you feel stronger? Do you have more energy? Is your mind clearer? Do you feel like you've rebooted some? The answer is yes, you've got a good recipe. Now, it's not to say you can't tweak it over time. As the demands of your life change, you may need to take some things out, add some things in. You know what I'm getting at here. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Find your recipe for relaxation. Because if you've got a brain that works like a motor like mine does, you're going to drive yourself nuts with anxiety. You're going to exhaust yourself. That's going to be hard to sleep. You've got to find some way to reboot. Now, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is just one approach. There's more things that need to be done to help you quiet your mind. But in the meantime, start with this, because this can be extremely helpful for you. And it will also help maybe give you some distance from other people that you happen to be driving crazy with your motor mind. So just that last little tidbit. So I'll let you go for now. Enjoy your 4th. This has been Brian. If there's anybody that you think can benefit from this message, please share it away. Hopefully they'll thank you for it. Take care. We'll talk again soon.